Hello, welcome to INFJ Thoughts with your INFJ in residence, M. Francis McCarthy. Welcome to my channel. What am I even going to talk about today? Hmm. Well, I tried to do a video outside, but it was too glary and walking around. So thought I'd. But with the video I started outside, I wanted to talk about our relationships to other people and why I think people can be really addictive to us. Sometimes it can be like a drug. We can get a drug-like effect off of people that make us feel good, and like a toxic effect from people that don't make us feel good, and for whatever reason. But I knew about this effect before I even knew I was an INFJ. I remember telling someone, it's like, oh, people are like drugs. This is when I was a kid. They're like, well, what are you talking about? If you're an IFJ, you know what I'm talking about. The other thing I remember telling that same friend was I said, when I walk into a room, I can tell what's going to happen. He's like, you saying you know what's going to happen? That doesn't sound right. And I said, a lot of times I have a good idea of the sort of things that are going to happen. That was intuition. I didn't even really wasn't that even familiar with the concept of intuition. But getting back to other people, I think it's hard for us because we have this introverted intuition, and it's like a 1-2 punch with the introverted thinking. So we're kind of locked in our own heads to a large degree, while at the same time we have this extroverted feeling as a very, very strong second function. It's not like we can even ignore other people. It's not like we can even be happy being a hermit in a cave. I think, like I said, my wife, who's an INFP, she'd be perfectly happy as a hermit in a cave. She likes having, me around, I think. No, I know she does. She likes having friends and she likes having some interaction with people, but not not like where I am right now is in my studio in the antique shop, Cowboy Junkies. I just moved in here, and I had a studio at a place called the Quarry Art Center in Fongaray for a long time, and I was quite unhappy doing my art at home. And when I got a studio with some public access and public going ons around, it was very easy for me to be happy. And the same thing goes on here. It's like I like my alone time. I like to do my work and to concentrate, but I also like things going on around me and interactions, a certain amount of interactions with people. In fact, I like this sort of retail thing because there's always a gap on it, a control on it. So it's not like these people are going to invite themselves to dinner or anything. So, what would be the topic of this video? Would be I don't know. I'm gonna try and get out of the mode of like lecturing you, teaching you stuff. I'm just gonna tell you, we all take on a stance. That's the other thing, to get anything done. Like I'm a painter and a musician, and when I started putting my painting on YouTube, you had to choose a stance that you were going to use to communicate. And for me, that was, oh, I'm teaching about painting. I'm educating about painting. I could have just taken the stance as, oh, I'm an artist. I just communicate through my art. But I chose to take that stance, and for better or for worse, it's been, you know, the way I've done my channel. And I don't know if I'll take that same stance here. A lot of times, I think I just kind of want to talk about myself and my life and my childhood. And heck, we're only on 4 minutes here, so I like to keep these around 6-7 minutes. Um, You're welcome to leave me a comment or a like, or no comments, no likes. That's fine, whatever. I reckon if you're getting some sort of value, then you might drop me a comment. Maybe you're getting no value. That's all right. It's all good. One thing I kind of wanted to say. So the way I always put it is like we're flapping in the breeze, kind of. It's like we are hermits, we are independent. We don't care really what other people think, and yet we know we were not fools, most of us. So to know what other people think and to not change or adjust what you're doing is foolish, really. That's the long and short of it. So uh, we'll do that for the screen capture for the title. Uh, so you get what I'm saying. So I've read a great quote. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm not paraphrasing anyone that's got the channel, but they were like, INFJ to INFPs, like, well, if you want people to like you, just act fake, which is a cynical and potentially bitter sort of way to look at it. But if you're looking at that same idea from the positive standpoint, you can adjust yourself to other people, especially if you know, actually, I've got 6 months. I'm going to tell you about my friend, the INTP, and keep his name out of it, keep it private. But he goes into a bank out here, and they have a policy out here: no hats, no sunglasses, no hoodies. And he's a big-time hat wearer, so he's wearing his hat. And he's definitely an iconoclast. If you know INTPs, you know what I mean. And a great guy, I love him dearly. But the lady behind the counter is like, can you take off your hat? And not only that, this is his bank. They know him. He's like, no, it's against my religion. And she's like, sir, could you please take off your hat? He's like, let me speak to your manager. And the other lady comes up, I am the manager. Would you please take off your hat? And he throws down his hat and he puts it back on his head. He's like, here, take my money. Da, 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 da. So we're talking about this, and I'm like, yeah, me and the INTP, we're talking about it. And I'm saying, man, I totally relate. I'm totally in harmony and in tune with you on hating the fact that they know who I am, and yet they want me to take off my hat. I says, where we're different, though, is like the second I saw the sign, I would just take off my hat because I realize I'm dealing with a giant marshmallow monster that any move I try and make to attack it is going to backfire and hit me right back in the face. And or like if you're hitting this marshmallow monster, your hand would just go in and in and in and in and in and just roll in and absorb you. So I think that's that extroverted feeling. That's an insight we get into how people work and things work. Anyway, video's over. Thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you're enjoying this series of videos, and if not, it doesn't cost anything to put them up. It doesn't cost you anything to watch them. So if you do like them, though, you could be my second subscriber. My first subscriber, Chris, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that and the comment. That's awesome. Yeah, so I'll keep doing them anyway. I figure if I have 50 or 100 of these up, they'll take on a life of their own of some type. That's the approach I took on my painting channel, and it worked out fine for me. So anyway, I'll be back real soon with another video. Meanwhile, please take good care and stay out of trouble.